Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the Maytag dryer blower wheel. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new blower wheel. The blower wheel is mounted on the motor shaft and circulates the hot air through the dryer. The main reason to be changing it out is if it's cracked or damaged and the hot air is not being circulated, or you're getting noise from the blower housing. In order to change the part, we have to take the dryer apart. First thing we're going to do is open up the door. Once you have the door open, we can use our Phillips screwdriver to take out the two screws that hold the door on. Once you have both screws out, you can lift up on the door and pull it out of the frame. Once you have it out, you can set it aside. On the other side of the door, we're going to take off the two screws and the covers. Once you have both screws off, we can pull the front panel off. To get the front panel off, we're just going to grab it right here on each side and pull out. There's a couple locking tabs that we have to release. Once you have those released, we can lift the panel off the lower mounting brackets. Once you have it off, you can set it aside. Now that we have the front panel off, we can remove the two screws. There's one on each side. They hold on these locking brackets. We're going to use our 5/16 inch nut driver to take them out. Once you have the screw out, you can lift the bracket away and turn it towards the outside of the dryer and pull it down to release the locking tab. Once you have it out, you can pull it off the dryer. The one on this side comes out the same way. Once you have the brackets out, we can lift the top of the dryer out. These hinges aren't too great, so I wouldn't support the top of the dryer with them. If you are close to the wall, you can put a towel across here and let it rest on the wall, or you can put a lanyard in to support it while we work on it. Once you have the top supported, we can remove the bulkhead. In order to take the bulkhead panels off all in one piece, we're going to have to remove the screws on each side, but on this side we're going to leave the one below the silver screw, and on this side we're going to leave the screw above the silver screw. We're going to use our 5/16 nut driver to take them out. Once you have the four screws out, we're going to carefully separate the bulkhead and open it up so we have access to the blower wheel. Once you have the assembly off the dryer, you just want to set it aside. You can put a towel over it and lean it against the wall. Once you have it out of the way, we can change the blower wheel. We have to take off the blower housing cover. We're going to use our 5/16 nut driver to remove this one screw, and then our 1/4 inch nut driver to remove the rest. Once you have all the screws out, we're just going to carefully swing the cover off the blower housing and out of the way so we can change the blower wheel. In order to get the blower wheel off the motor shaft, we have to remove this snap ring and then this clamp. If you don't have a snap ring pliers, you can use a small screwdriver and carefully take it off. If you have a snap ring pliers, you can hook into it and open it up just enough to get it off the shaft. You don't want to bend it and overstretch it. Once you have the snap ring off, you can reach in with our pliers and compress the other clamp. Once you have it compressed, you can pull it off and then reach in and pull the blower wheel off the motor shaft. You may have to wiggle it if it's on there tight. You may have to clean up any residue or lint that may be in there holding it, but it should come off pretty easy. Once you have it off the shaft, we can pull it out of the dryer. Here's the old blower wheel next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at appliancepartspros.com. When you're putting the new blower wheel in, you'll notice that it has a D shape. There's a flat on it, and you have to match that up with the flat on the motor shaft when you push it on. Before you push the blower wheel back on, you want to make sure that there's a second snap ring back here. This is what you're going to press the blower wheel against to make sure it's on far enough. Once you're sure the snap ring is there, we can push the blower wheel on. Once you have the blower wheel on, we can put the clamps back on. We're going to use the needle nose pliers to put on the green clamp. All you have to do is compress it and make sure it's on the flat spot here on the blower wheel. You can let it go. And then we can put the snap ring on. And the same thing as when you took the snap ring off. If you don't have snap ring pliers, you can just carefully work it around the groove in the motor shaft. Otherwise, you can just line it up with the snap ring pliers and let it go to release it. Now that we have the blower wheel installed, we can put the cover back on the blower housing. To put the cover on, all you have to do is line it up with the blower housing. You want to make sure all the wires are clear and don't get caught. And then we'll go around and use the 1/4" nut driver to put in all the smaller screws, and then the 5/16" nut driver to put in the big one at the bottom. Now that we have the cover installed, we can put the bulkhead back on the dryer. When you put it on, you want to make sure that the drum sits on the blue glides. You may have to lift up on the drum a little bit to go on there. And you want to make sure that none of the felts are pushed inside the lip of the drum and that it's smooth around the outer edge of it. Once you have the bulkhead in place, we can use the 5/16" nut driver to put the screws in that hold it to the cabinet. Now that we have the bulkhead installed, we can put the top of the dryer down. To put the top down, we're just going to lift it up, and you can take the towel or the lanyard off. Once you have it off, you can lower the top down so we can put the hold down brackets in. Both hold down brackets go in the same way. We're going to hook the top tabs in and then rotate them down. And then we can use the 5/16" nut driver to put the screw in. Now that we have the hold-on brackets on, we can put the front panel back on the dryer. In order to put the front panel on, all you have to do is set it down onto the lower brackets. Then we can lift it up. And you want to make sure that these locking tabs here go into these slots to hold the front panel on. Once you have the front panel on, we can put the screws and the covers on. We're going to use our Phillips screwdriver to put these in. Now that you have the screws and the covers on, we can mount the door on the other side. To put the door in, we're just going to line up the tabs with the openings in the frame and push the lower one in. And then we can line up the upper one and push that in. Once you have them both in, we can use the Phillips screwdriver to put the screws in. Once you have the screws tightened down, you can close the dryer door, plug it back in, and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.